second meeting of the parties of the agreement in Mali. And a new strike in Morocco of air traffic controllers demanding the revision of the management policy. Those were today's headlines. First in our news, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received on Wednesday the two laureates that have ranked first and second in the 2022 baccalaureate session, Iman Abbas from Betna and Manar Merdes from Galma, both from the experimental sciences field. The President has welcomed the two deserving students to the headquarters of the Presidency. The two high school graduates could not assist the laureates awarding ceremony organized in the People's Palace for health reasons.
مرحبا بك. الله يبارك فيك.
إيمان بن عباس
من باتنا.
المرتبة الأولى والتقييم من باتنا معدل 1955.
الله يبارك. أهلا الله فيكم. أهلا.
يعطيكم الصحة.
مبارك الله فيكم اللي حضرتوا البنت لهذا المستوى هذا. الله فيكم. مرحبا بك. مبروك عليك. مبروك الله يبارك فيك.
اسمي مردس منار من بلدية بوشقو في ولاية قلمة. حصلت على شهادة البكالوريا دورة جبان 2022 بمعدل 19.23 وحدة المرتبة الثانية وطنية. متشرفين.
الله يبارك. مبروك عليك ومبروك على الجزائر. تفضل.
الأول تحية سيدي السلام عليكم. شرفتينا سيدي الرئيس.
لا بارك الله فيك. أنت اللي شرفتنا بهال.
لا أنت شرفتنا بهذه المقابلة. أعطيتنا فرصة ثانية.
لا هذو أولادنا هذو المستقبل تاع البلاد.
سيدي الرئيس بارك الله
فيك. صحيح.
The two laureates were welcomed and honored by the President of the Republic, as he had promised before. A gold medal and a financial reward were awarded to Iman Abbas from Betna. And the silver medal and the financial reward were awarded to Manar Merdes before taking souvenir photos with the President. Present at the ceremony were the Minister of National Education, Abdel Hakim Belabed, and the advisor to the President in charge of Legal and Judicial Affairs, Acting Principal, Private Secretary of the Presidency, Boualam, in addition to the families of the two girls. For their part, the two girls have expressed their joy and thanked the President for the interest he grants to education. Let's listen.
I am very proud. I appreciate that the President of the Republic took of his time to make this meeting. That made us beyond happy. This is a memory that we will carry in our hearts. It is humanitarian, generous, and very wise of him to take into consideration our situation that we could not be present at the previous ceremony. This is a great encouragement and support to the students. We pray to be the pride of our country and to contribute for its development. I am very happy that our daughter prevailed in her studies, and we say the hard work always pays off, and the President of the Republic is very generous for this great honoring. I am very happy by this honoring of the President of the Republic, as I would sincerely thank him and appreciate that he honored us here as he promised before. Me and my family are very proud and thankful for this warm and special reception. Since we could not be present in the previous honoring ceremony due to health issues, we are very grateful. We are very proud to be honored by the President of the Republic, and we are also very grateful that he gave us a chance to be a part of such a ceremony. Since we were not able to be present for health issues in the previous ceremony, I take this opportunity to express how proud I am with this result of my daughter. She could make it as the second among 700,000 students who had the baccalaureate degree exam. It is such a difficult task that she could fulfill and be the pride of our family and the country.
Concerning the 31st OPEC Plus meeting, the 23 countries decide to increase the alliance's total production by 100,000 barrels a day next September. The Algerian quota is 2,000 barrels a day to reach a total of 1,057,000 barrels per day. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies have opted for a smaller increase than those applied since July 2021. From that date, OPEC Plus production increased monthly by 400,000 barrels a day before reaching 432 barrels a day, then 648,000 barrels a day recently.
C'était une réunion très importante.
This was an important meeting during which we examined in detail the technical committee's report, which indicated that the expected quantities compared to the demands did not meet the expectations due to the global development. That is why OPEC and non-OPEC countries decided to keep up with the global demand concerning petroleum products and to supplement 100,000 barrels per day starting September, meaning an additional 2,000 barrels to our national production, for a total production of 1,057,000 barrels per day in line with our estimates regarding national production. OPEC and non-OPEC countries also agreed to meet on the 5th of September.
The Malian Prime Minister, Shargal Maiga, expressed his deep thanks to Algeria for its active solidarity and constant support to the people and government of Mali. Maiga was speaking at the opening of the second decision-making level meeting of the parties to the Agreement for Peace and Reconciliation in Mali, resulting from the Algiers process. He affirmed that the implementation of the Algiers Agreement constitutes one of the major priorities of the President of the Transition, Head of State Colonel Assimi Goïta, and of the government.
I would like to make a special mention to the neighboring Algerian Republic in its capacity as the head of the Monitoring Committee of the Agreement on Peace and Reconciliation and its senior executives for their constant solidarity and support to the people and the government of Mali as part of their search for peace, security and development. The implementation of the Agreement on Peace and Reconciliation here in Mali, issued for the Algiers process, is one of the main priorities of the main interim president and the government, in line with the principles that were fully and freely expressed.
Algeria will celebrate on Thursday the National Day of the National People's Army, coinciding with August 4th of every year. That was adopted by the President of the Republic to recognize their important role in building the country and protecting its national unity and sovereignty. Manal Ammari.
The National People's Army, where the heir of the National Liberation Army was born from a people that believed in freedom and struggled through the horrors of colonialism and its oppression. The National People's Army followed the example of the National Liberation Army by being close to the people across the country. In the past, it faced colonial arrogance through cohesion and cooperation of different groups of people, and now it is raising the stakes of building the homeland and protecting its sovereignty and unity, with the participation of all groups of society by being present in all circumstances. The commemoration of the National Day of the National People's Army is to renew the strong bonds and cohesion between the people and their army, and a recognition of this institution's pivotal role in the process of building and maintaining the country's sovereignty. It is a crucial date that confirms that the National People's Army is the heir of the National Liberation Army, because it is strongly linked with the goals and ambitions related to liberating Algeria from the clutches of the French colonialism. Even though the National Liberation Army has different goals, it continues to share the same beliefs and principles. Throughout the 60th anniversary of Algeria's independence, this day became an acknowledgement of the sacredness and honor of its mission, starting with state institutions and considering them a part of their fundamental elements to constitutionally preserve territorial and national unity. August 4th is a day to cherish and pride the high professionalism that our military institutions reached and the achievements reflected in many areas. The National People's Army contributed to building the modern Algerian state and took part in developing projects and strengthening the roles of several other national institutions. The President of the Republic's adoption of August 4th of every year as a National Day of the National People's Army to strengthen the links of the Army and the nation is a guarantee of the continuation of building the modern Algeria on solid foundations based on unity and cohesion.
As part of the celebration of the National Day of the National People's Army, and in accordance with the instructions of the High Command of the National People's Army concerning the naming of the military units and structures with the names of martyrs and war veterans of the Liberation Revolution, General Ali Seidan, commander of the 1st Military Region, supervised Wednesday the ceremony for the naming of the High Military School in the name of the late war veteran and President Ali Kafi, in the presence of the school officials and members of the martyrs' family. The family of the martyr were honored in the end and given symbolic gifts. Detachments of the National People's Army arrested 42 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to smuggle quantities of drugs across the borders with Morocco. These quality results reflect the high professionalism, vigilance, and permanent availability of our armed forces throughout the national territory. More details with Rania Al-Bahri.
As part of the fight against organized crime and in continuity with intense efforts aimed at countering the scourge of drug trafficking in our country, combined detachments of the National People's Army arrested in coordination with various security services at the level of the 2nd and the 3rd military regions. 15 drug traffickers on thwarted attempts to introduce large quantities of drugs across the borders with Morocco, amounting to 129 kilograms of treated cannabis, while 27 other drug traffickers were arrested in possession of 72,448 psychotropic tablets during various operations carried out across the military regions. In addition, other detachments of the National People's Army intercepted in Tamanrasset, Borj Beji Mukhtar, Ingizem, Janet, and Tindouf provinces 28 individuals and seized 1 FMPK submachine gun, 1 Kalashnikov gun, a quantity of ammunition, 17 vehicles, 103 generators, 74 jackhammers, 30 tons of mixture of raw gold and stones, 1 metal detector, and detonation tools and equipment used in illicit gold panning operation. While 8 other individuals were arrested and 6 hunting rifles, 34,900 pockets of tobacco, as well as quantities of foodstuffs intended for smuggling, rising to 23 tons, were seized in Tibissa, Sitif, El-Wed, Yaret, Ingizam, and Msila provinces. In the same context, the border guards thwarted, in coordination with the services of the National Gendarmerie, attempts to smuggle large quantities of fuel, amounting to 34,308 liters in Borj Beji Mukhtar, Tibissa, Atarif, Souqahras, and El-Wed provinces. In addition, the Coast Guards thwarted, at the level of our national coasts, attempts at illegal immigration and proceeded to the rescue of 147 individuals on board craft-built boats, while 39 illegal immigrants from different nationalities were arrested across the national territory.
Units of the Sahrawi Liberation Army carried out new attacks against positions of the Moroccan occupation forces in the regions of Akrara, Al-Atasa, and Aoudi Ariqba in the Mahbas sector. Previously, entrenchments of occupation soldiers were targeted in the areas of Mahbas, Rus al-Sibti, and Akrara al-Farsik. Demonstrations and sittings are organized all over the country in Morocco, to which is added a new strike at the airports of Morocco starting from Wednesday. Air traffic controllers demand more consideration and a review of the management policy. More details with Rania Al-Bahri.
The contempt displayed by Al-Makhzen and its inability to protect the citizens prompted the unions and political parties to react, as they demanded in a press release the cancellation of the successive increases in fuel prices, demanding to determine a price cap, with the recovering of money looted by what they call hydrocarbon mafia from the continuous rise in fuel prices. This is also the case with the Moroccan Confederation, which sounded the alarm about the aggravation of the inflation crisis and the rise in fuel prices.
تخرج علينا هذه الحكومه ما تخنوش ما خصوش يبقى الصراحه واش زيد في الحليب زيد في الليسانس زيد في زيد
Akhnoush need to leave. There is a huge increase in prices, especially largely consumed products such as milk and oil, but there is no increase in wages.
الشعب راه عندنا لا ليبرتي ديالنا.
We are free to decide about our future. It's not up to you to take decision in our place. We fed up.
هذه الدولة كتقول لنا بعدا دبروا على راسهم.
The Moroccan government neglected us. They don't care about us. They don't even care if we survive or die. Moroccans accuse the fuel distribution companies and that their head, one owned by Aziz Akhnouch, of being partly at the origin of the current crisis, while the political groups call for the release of all political detainees, an end to systematic repressive policies against freedom of expression, freedom of association, assembly and demonstration, and an end to the state health emergency.
In Palestine, the Zionist colonial forces arrested 4 young people in different areas of the West Bank, while fishers' boats were attacked in the north of Gaza Strip by gunboats of the Zionist entity. The Palestinian Foreign Affairs Ministry warned that the current settlement escalation is a serious and accelerated threat to the imposition of de facto policy, denouncing the risk of escalating settler attacks against unarmed Palestinians. That was it for our English news program. Thank you for watching and good night.